That's the end of January. Here's the calendar before I get to take it down. Expose my sleep schedule and my bad habits. That'll all get better. I promise. This is what the month looked like. Lots of holes in the routine. Lots of good sleeping days, bad sleeping days. Does that say 2? No, it's 12. Holy shit. That's still not good. But again, like I said, up and down, up and down. But this is good for me. Well, I mean, it's not good because we spend time being inconsistent. But it's good for the sake of improvement because there's lots of room to be to make improvements. Now, are these areas I would like to be making improvements in the sense that they should already be good enough? Yes, I would have liked my sleep schedule to be more consistent, for me to show up every day to the gym, but it didn't happen. So we're looking for the future. We're not dwelling over the past. Well, that was cool. Whoa. I promised to myself that this will be better. If in these 3.5 weeks I got as much done as I did, well, what would happen if I put more effort, be more consistent, and be more focused? I'd probably get a lot more done, and there's a lot of time left on the table, and we can see that no clearer than the working hours. And you think you work a lot more than you actually do is what I've learned. Like, how, like 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. How 3 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. Like, what happened? How did I lose that much time? I don't know. That's what happened, and we look to improve it. You know, you have some strong days in here. These last 2 obviously are normal. Sorry, pardon the foot. Normal, quote unquote, hours of work. I've been counting my hours and my daily routine for 2.5, 3 years now. People don't do as much work as they think in the day. I would argue most people sit around the 5 or even the 4 to 6 hour mark a day. That's how much work they're actually doing. When you remove the breaks, when you remove the distractions, and all that time spent not working and not being productive, you probably only have 4 to 6 hours of actual work on your hands. That's why I can't stress enough. Deep focus. The most important skill that is an absolutely lost art is deep focus. Everyone's distracted, and it's ruining everyone's productivity and their potential. It's a disease that is just so accepted that you can listen to music while you work, that you can watch videos while you work, that it's okay to be on the phone when you work. It's just to all the notifications, the accessibility to talk to people and to throw different tasks at people and throw things back and forth with each other and never actually get things done, the emails, everything. It takes away from deep focus, and it takes away from the actual work that needs to get done. It's just such a natural part of the work environment nowadays that it's impossible to get rid of it when you're working your 9 to 5 with a bigger team. But when you're working independently, your advantage is the fact that you do not have to waste time like that. That you can get straight to what's important. And yes, you're going to have to spend a lot of time managing yourself and your business, because that's part of, I'm going on a whole rant right now, but that's part of being independent, is that you're responsible for literally everything. But again, your advantage is also the fact that you can cut the nonsense out. How much time are you wasting in meetings? How much time are you wasting going back and forth with someone that doesn't know what's going on? And it's just like, you save so much time. Or like being thrown tasks to do from other people, and when you have things you should already be doing. And your advantage is your focus. That's the biggest thing when you're independent. Your advantage is your focus. And honestly, I have opinions on, my shirt's off right now, so I'm gonna leave the camera like this. I'm really weird about my shirt being on and off. Sometimes I care, sometimes I don't know. But I truly think there's no reason for it to be that bad in an office or on a team where things are flying at other people and it's a mess and nothing actually gets done, and you're just pushing tasks from one person to another in hopes that someone will pick it up. It ends up being the guy at the bottom of the line that does the job, and everyone else just commands. It just basically gives them the thing to do. It's just, I have feelings. Oh, shit. I have feelings about it, but that is something for me to resolve when I have the chance to. I'm still independent. If I were to ever work on something with more people, I think my biggest focus is going to be trusting talent, because that's what I'd hire the talent for, is to trust them, that I know they'll do their job, to not micromanage them, trust their vision, let them communicate, and let them be open and honest about whatever we're working on. And through that, cut out a lot of the nonsense that goes on in these companies where shit just gets thrown around in circles, and you go from your client-facing person to the back end editor, and the editor has to throw it to the boss to double check, and the boss has to ask for this, and that, and then, oh no, you got a new fucking task on your hands. It's just stupid, man. It's fucking stupid. That's something for me to fix with my own work and any work that I'm involved in when I have the chance to. But like I said, for me, it's going to be trusting the team to do what I know they can do, pardon my light, and letting people just do it. Letting people just do it, and not creating this fear that they're at risk if they don't agree. And I think that's the formula to success. When people feel empowered to create, they're working at a place or they're working on a project that is not hindering them and trying to make them conform to this container. Instead, they're pushing them and elevating them to create something even better than maybe what was envisioned. They're going to do that. They're going to do that. And you also need to give them the space and time. Don't throw shit at their... Everybody does their part. That starts at the very top. That starts with your leader or boss setting the example. Okay, I'm ranting too much. Back to the point. That's an issue that's not going to be solved by bitching and complaining about it. That's an issue that's going to be solved by doing it myself when I have the opportunity to. That's what I will do when the time comes. For now, as I was saying before, your advantage is that you can be focused, and the ability to be in a deep focus while you work. And it's just, deep focus is a lost skill set that everyone's ignoring and nobody wants to think about anymore. Shut off your music, shut off your YouTube, close your door, whatever you need to do. Deep focus is really important. Being bored is important. Letting yourself think, giving yourself time to think is really, really important. It's really important for so many reasons. So don't ignore that part of the effort that is required when you're trying to get somewhere. Don't ignore that. While I put these up, because I'm on the subject, I'll give you an example of how deep focus can change your perception of the ability to achieve your future. When I'm working and I have a video on, you would think naturally I can work a lot more. I can work for longer hours. I can just kind of shut my mind off and get the work done if it's tedious, because I have something to distract me from how much time I'm spending on it. You would think that makes sense, but it's actually the opposite. This thing I'm doing right now, if I have a video or a movie playing or even music, unless it's like the brain food kind of music, but even that is like, I am not only not paying attention to what I'm doing, making myself susceptible to making more mistakes, I am also burning myself out faster because I'm overstimulating myself. And even if it's a tedious task, you need to pay attention. You need to allow yourself to become automatic. Naturally. You need to allow yourself, because you get frustrated from the amount going on from their video, and then what happens is if you need to change the video and you need a new video because it's just not entertaining enough and it's not stimulating you and it's becoming harder, and then you look at the timer and the timer's not as far as you thought it'd be. You're not as far as you thought it would be in a project. You're also slower, a lot slower when you're distracted. And that's another big thing. You're wasting time. But the biggest thing, aside from wasting time, aside from not getting things done as soon as you could have because you're distracted, you're not allowing yourself to retain any of the information that's coming from what you're doing. You're not completely absorbing everything you could be to be better for the next time you do it. And I get it, sometimes it's hard when you're doing something that's a lot more demanding, where you have to be a lot more invested in the task and you have to make a lot more creative decisions and think about, well, like, for example, if I'm working on a documentary, think about, instead of this, thinking about, like, well, how should I take it from here, and so, that can be very exhausting. And you can need a lot more breaks because of that. And it becomes, kind of solving that puzzle in your head it can be very stimulating, but also very, very tiring and stressful. But the worst thing you could do is try to take that stress away by escaping. And that's all that music and videos and movies while you're doing work is. It's a form of escapism, and it's a form of not wanting the responsibility of that work that it's asking of you. You are responsible for doing the job well. You are responsible for improving yourself. You are responsible for your own aspirations. And you're not going to get there by distracting yourself while you're doing it and just going through the motions. Going through the motions is one of the worst things that you can do because you become complacent, comfortable, and conformative to wherever life and the job you're doing wants to take you, instead of guiding that path for yourself. And a huge part of that is your deep focus. It's your ability to be disciplined enough and conscious enough to make decisions for yourself and your future, and allow yourself to learn and grow as effective as possible. Yes, you're not going to retain everything every time you do a job. Sometimes you're exhausted. Sometimes you're just not in the mood. Sometimes, you have no motivation, but you're learning tenfold more than you would if you were distracted while you were doing it. I hope that makes sense, because the comparison from me being tired and stressed, but not listening to music, not being distracted while I do whatever I need to do, compared to me being distracted and feeling at ease in doing it, I'm still learning more while I'm being stressed, because I'm thinking about how can I improve this for next time? How can I remove the part of the stress? How can I make the process easier for the next time that I do it? Because it's causing me a lot of anxiety and mental strength to get through this. But when you're distracted and at ease, you don't have that urgency. You don't have that kind of alarm in your head telling you, well, you need to improve this for next time, or else you're going to run into the same thing. You're not going to learn the lessons you need to. One of the biggest things I need to do this year is stop watching videos. Stop watching videos and stop listening to music. Stop while I'm running. Stop while I'm working out. Stop while I'm working. Stop while I'm eating my food. It's become a part of every single part of my life. And it has made me so distracted. It's made me feel like time has gone by. It's given me anxiety about my future and uncertainty of if I have the skill sets to do what I need to do. It's made me feel like I've wasted a lot of time where I could have spent improving different parts of my skill sets. It's made me miss deadlines. It's made me miss projects. It's made me miss opportunities because of the simple thing of just wanting to escape. That was a crazy brain. I am getting distracted by this camera. I need to finish putting up these calendars. This is crazy. And just one more thing. I promise the last thing, but you will be happier. At the end of the day, even if you don't struggle with the same issues, even if you don't have the problem of feeling satisfied from your work because you're distracted and whatnot, you will just be happier. You will feel like your days are longer. You will feel like a kid again. Like every experience you're learning something new, because you actually are. That's actually what being alive looks like, is not being constantly distracted and being sucked from your phone, your tablet, your computer. Okay? That's what life is supposed to be. Learning, growing. That is what we're put on this earth to do. To take that away, because it is very natural now for that to be taken away. And that can go hand in hand with substance abuse. Smoking weed. Drinking. Looking for nights to go out instead of doing the work you need to do. Gambling, I don't know, whatever it is, eating, the things you eat. All of this, everything is attached to this idea of escapism, from running away from the things you know you need to be doing with your life. Don't do this to yourself. Don't let that happen. There is a world of excitement, joy, hope, where the sun is a little brighter and the nights feel a little calmer. It's just about working hard, and it's just about being disciplined. It's about being a part of life and of functioning adults. There is a world, and I'm going to say this knowing I am privileged because of my parents and my grandparents and what the generations on generations have done to allow me to be here. But I want to say this because I know there's a lot of people that struggle with depression. There's a lot of people that are in very fortunate positions that just don't see the world a certain way that can make them happy. There is a reality in a world where you can't be happy. And it's about taking one step at a time to improve yourself every single day. It's about doing the things you know you should do instead of the things you want to do. It's about taking your daily life and finding the things you need to do to be happy going through them. Because that's when life becomes exciting. That's when going to bed feels great. And that's when waking up feels even better. So do those things. Don't escape. Don't allow yourself to escape. That goes for everyone, man. The people in less fortunate positions where their lives are extra hard and they've just come across people that maybe aren't good to them and have done a lot of bad to them, but maybe they're left with a lot of responsibility on their hands. Maybe they have kids at a young age. Maybe they're the only parent. Maybe they're independent kids. Maybe they don't have parents. But it also goes for the rich. The people that feel like they have everything they need and the only thing left to do is to distract themselves, to escape. The only thing left to do is have fun, lose the responsibility of life because they've earned the money to do that. They have the freedom and the comfort knowing that regardless of how much I fuck my life up, I can go back to my 4,200 square foot house and my silk sheets and sleep and wake up the next day. And this also goes for the many, many fortunate and middle class people like myself, like my friends, like my relatives that were born in a comfortable position and struggling to find their purpose, what they want to do with their life, and the reason as to why they want to do it. The thing that's going to ask them, well, why are you waking up today? It always comes back to this, but it is just about working hard and being responsible for your dreams. That's it. Let me finish putting out this calendar. We did not finish that last task. Fuck. But we are very close. I said that the last 3 days, but this time I mean it because I have 4 pictures left. And all I have to do for them is the gold and the drop shadow. And as soon as that's done, we are home free. There's one picture that I don't know if I exported. There's actually one picture that I think got corrupted. But I think I exported it already. It was just an old one that I finished previously. I'll double check anyways, just to make sure. Because I can't live with tasks being unfinished. I can't live with knowing that I maybe skipped something or I slacked off in there. It has to be done 100%. It has to be, or else my mind it eats at me. Yeah, just those things. I will be done. I should be done by 9 tonight. I'm praying. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm not going to put a time on when I think I'll be done, but I know I will be done today. Doing that. No videos, no music. Listen, I was lenient with myself last month. That's where, and I let a lot of problems come back. I let a lot of bad habits come back because I was too lenient, too nice. You cannot give yourself any grace. It's kind of fucked. But you really can't give yourself any grace. As soon as you do it you just open the floodgates to all the problems again. No leniency. No leniency. No fucking videos. No fucking music. So, I'm going to go eat. And then we're going to get started. We are going to finish this shit tonight. We could wake up tomorrow and we could start some fucking videos. this shotgun mic in. I want to see if it works, because if so, might as well start using it. Test 1 2 1 2. Okay. Test 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. It does work. Oh my god, why haven't I been using this? What the fuck? So here's something cool I thought I'd show off, just for the memory's sake. I am making fake drop shadows. So you can see there's puppeting going on. Basically, I'm duplicating the layer of the subject, making it black, and I'm creating a fake drop shadow so that when, I guess, let me show you the before and after. So here's the before, right? And this is the just puppeting of the drop shadow. And then, so now, once I'm done puppeting, this is actually what it looks like normally. And then I'm gonna add a mask to the shadow layer. I'm not naming anything. I know that's bad practice. I'm not doing that for every single one right now. I know that's a bad mindset. I know not practicing discipline, blah, 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 blah. But listen, I'm trying to get this shit done, okay? I'm not trying to be perfect right now. So now I'll create a blank mask on this layer. And then what I'll do is grab the gradient tool. I'm gonna turn the subject off just so I don't have to keep covering them. Then I'll grab the gradient tool, like so. I'll create a gradient, like so. And gradient that mask. I have 3 points, and it goes from not complete black, because I still want there to be something, but close to black. Then I have middle gray, and then I have white, so that it's fully there. And then I'll just kind of adjust it. I'll adjust it more once I have the subject to get a better eye. You can see I puppeted it so that it bends towards the wall. Naturally, which is really nice, the backdrop has kind of a dark spot for the shadow, so this kind of blends in. Then from here, I'll actually grab filter, and I'll go blur gallery, tilt shift. And what this will let me do is I will rotate this like so. And then I'll drag this down here, and I'll make it so that this middle point is at the feet so that they're completely in focus and not blurred at all. And then I will play with where I want this. I'll make it a lot stronger at first. Something like, something like, I don't know, random number for now, just something that I can really see. You can see as I turn it on, the further part becomes more blurred, which is exactly what we want. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drag this down so that it starts to taper off sooner. And then I'm gonna create basically create the point where I want this to start fading and blurring. And where like this is the maximum blur on this side. This is anything from 0 to 100 based off this line. So I typically, for me, somewhere in the middle of the wall I think is usually a good spot. Although for this one, I'm gonna go, first I'm gonna turn it down. I'm actually gonna dial in that blur a bit better. Okay, I'm gonna hit OK. It's gonna load. Sorry, my camera work is not good right now. I'm not looking through the screen. Okay, not bad. And then typically I'll go here, go soft light, and it'll blend in the image a lot better than normal. And then from there I can adjust. The unfortunate part of tilt shift is I don't think I can readjust that setting. Once it's dialed in, it's dialed in. So what I do is I go blur, Gaussian blur, and then I'll just play around with the blur of Gaussian blur until I'm happy. Sorry, I'm doing a bad job with the camera. So I'll go here, my reference, and I'll just find a point that I'm happy with. 13 seems good. Yeah, that feels right. And then I'm gonna put the subject back in. It doesn't look too bad. It might be a little too light. I might need to deepen it a bit. Just bring some of the opacity back. Like so. Okay, looks decent. I'm gonna make some adjustments, make it look a bit better, and then I will be right back. Something I learned from the other ones is really like the make or break of your shadow, of whether or not it looks real, all comes down to if the feet look integrated and if the shadows are placed right where the feet are. As long as the feet look like they're touching the ground, as long as the feet look like they have shadows, the rest can kind of be off and it'll still look fine, because this is the connective tissue right here that is integrating the subject to the background. And if this is off, like before, it was slightly, you had some shadow coming from where the light would actually be, and it looked really off, you can see. See, it doesn't look right. Now it looks much better. Before, after, before, after. And now all we do is create a new layer. And we're gonna put this one below. And we're going to change it to overlay. And we're gonna grab our brush. And we're gonna make sure it's on soft. And we're gonna make sure we are on black, which is correct. Yeah, we're on black. We're gonna decrease the size, and then we're just gonna go in and brush in some shadows on the feet, like so. Increase the size of that, make it a bit softer, and just kind of feather out some of the back there, like so. Boom. And we're gonna bring some back here, like so. Cool. So now we're going to change the opacity of that until we think it's in a good spot. Now you see the tip of the feet there, they still seem like they're floating. This will focus. That's because we need to add some shadows there. That is pretty much that. And then you have a finished picture where they're integrated into the background. So, cool. I'm fucking done. Oh, we're done. We're done. We're done. Oh my god, it feels so good to be done. Oh my god, let's go. Oh. All right. I get to do the fun part. It's not getting any better. All right. It's actually not as bad as I thought. I guess the bigger question is, how did those other ones take me that long? Honestly, that change of workflow made things so much faster because I didn't have to redo the selection of a certain color. I just like that color, that color, that color. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just sped it up so much faster than I thought it would. A day later than I would have liked to finish it, but you know what? It's done. It's done. We're done. We get to do video! Oh, it's done. Oh, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back, baby. We're back. We're back. We're officially a video editor once more. Okay.